Welcome back to the show. This is the Billabong Pipe Masters in memory of Andy Irons. And the first round has presented some pretty big moves for us, and we're about to see some more because we've got three great surfers fighting it out for a place in the third round. Sebastian Zets, Italo Ferreira and Jack Freestone. And we have just seen one of the better performances of the first round from Kelly Slater with one of the turns of the day. But during the break, Italo lit up this small left-hander.
Ronnie, does not surprise me to see Italo looking at that left, just a little bit of that breeze blowing in up against the face. So, you know, Italo's ready to ramp up and go for a huge punt. And the wild card factor in this heat, definitely Jack Freestone. But, you know, the success I feel like he had in Brazil, it was when he scaled it back just a little bit. He kind of finished his moves and he kept making it through those close heats. So Jack has a, you know, good common sense kind of heat brewing right underneath the skin.
That same feeling when you're a teenager and you get that chance, you know, it's super fun and exciting, and I think you know, he can just take that excitement and not be nervous, just the pure joy of what he's doing. That's a good thing. But with what he was doing, so focused and to have all that payoff, you know, that's really rewarding when you set that goal and you make it happen. You know, and it's easy when it's fresh. It's harder years down the road, but you know, to see that's kind of rejuvenating, and you know, obviously I'm feeding off the young guys, not the old guys.
At the Pipe Masters, it is all the time. This is one of those locations where he has been so dominant, and he's going to be fired up when we get to the Gold Coast next season. But here we go, Jack Freestone leading this heat and looking really smooth, just ironing out his lines, and bangs hard onto the incoming left-hander, but doesn't quite ride out of that move. But he's got a 5.67, might just replace the 2.83 he had for his second wave.
You know, it's kind of punchy, but it goes flat right before you hit it. So it's a weird combination, and not everyone can really have the keys to success on that last little section. But let's see, Jack sees it right about here, so he's trying to wind up to get speed. There's the flat section. And I like the way he kicked his tail at it, but again, he was reaching as it kind of bent away from him.
Having a look at this one. A really strong backhand growing up at Baía Formosa over there in Brazil, a right-hand point break. And he lines this one up. A couple of clean hits, nothing mind-blowing there. All these guys are supercharged. It's the end of the year. They've been really putting in the hours in these free surfing sessions.
Yeah, watch the fireworks right here. Bang. So nice. That's actually a tame effort from Italo. So this is his version of just kind of building a heat here, grabbing a score. So safely finishing off in that weird section that Off the Wall has been delivering. Every now and then that section will really cooperate and just give you the perfect section, but that one was tricky, and Italo wisely scaled back, Ronnie.
It's pretty unfortunate for my first Pipe Masters if I can't surf it.
Well, it did look like you were in a lot of pain paddling back out, so that's where the pain is when you're laying down.
Even just standing here right now, it's pretty sore, but like sitting down and just like lifting my shoulders off the bed when we were doing tests and stuff is.
But here we go, some movement here, and it is the surfer in red, Sebastian Zets, with priority. He's waited a pretty long time for this wave. Let's see what he can do with it. Just flowing and forcing that last turn. He kind of had to push it. He's counting on a 1 and a 0.5. This is a low scoring heat.
He's just got that 1 and 0.5, so really he just needs a couple of okay scores and he can take over this heat. Nice snap there from Sebastian Zets, but did catch just a little bit of rail. I like the connection on that float. So he's right when Seabass started finding some rhythm, that wave shut down. So it'll be a little touch and go this afternoon with the swell.
All right, well, only this heat and one more to finish off this first round. Let's hope we see the set waves keep rolling through here. Jack Freestone falling on that occasion, and a missed opportunity to improve on a 3.4 and push further ahead here. Italo goes down hard, just loses his footing on the roof of that wave. You can always bank on him spending a really good chunk of time down there, signing books, t-shirts, foreheads, anything that's put in front of him. 6.5 minutes to go, and Italo Just smacked that section.
Score right now that he's keeping is a 4.17, so he could up it. Let's see. Watch the spray everywhere, though. Again, so quiet in his upper half, but all his trunk, just his legs, he snaps out of it. It's kind of like a Nat Young, same type of surfing he's doing on the wave. It's so engaging. It's really fun to watch. You can't deny how powerful he is.
All right, we'll get ready for this because Italo's got a nice sized insider. Just swings that tail around. He's ramping up on the inside here. Pops the fins free. Just never seems to struggle with that move at all.
Needs a 4.25. Let's see what he did before the air. Nice little wrap. And that's what he does. He just always trying to add flair and power. So a nice little flick, and then sort of a flicky air. But again, that section wasn't very nice. You know, it laid down on him. So I think he maxed out that score.
Rather than bending away from you, they're bending at you. And especially with this kind of wind, when it's got this easterly direction right there, you'd expect him to find a big ramp. As you see right now, Jack Freestone taking off.
And driving off the bottom into this first section. The wave's starting to flatten out. Still hasn't had that money turn. And he gets caught up. And it's not going to go into his top two. Here goes Sebastian Zets. He's got a nice bit of wall to work with. Overextends just a little. And as a result, goes down.
Sebastian Zets is going to be really angry at himself because he ripped through that hack. Had to have felt amazing. Jack Freestone connecting, just a little tap there, and that wave hit that deep spot. So taking off down on the end of backdoor, and that wave ran into deep water. But watch the second half of this carve. He's going to catch an edge right there. So again, once you release those fins, it's definitely a way to add some flair to maneuver. But as soon as you start skating on a surface, that edge is vulnerable.
Italo's been chipping away on smaller waves, seems less concerned by getting the sets and more focused on just letting go of something big. He's looking for a ramp, but here goes Zietz. Needs a 6.2, couple of decent turns already. There's a solid finish and a little bit of frustration chucked into that move. And he might get the number with that one because this heat has been short of big quality moves.
Nice power surfing there.
I think he really saved the ride with that last maneuver too.
Good flow right here. Again, nice little stomp on his back foot. This one better, just a little vertical. But again, that was a tough section to keep his flow up. And then that last turn really ripping through it. So still a back-footed maneuver, but he held that rail line longer. So the judges will eat that up.
Well, 25 seconds to go and the score's coming in. Italo knows that he might need something pretty special here. Well, let's see if he loads up and goes to the air for us. Just a couple of turns, so nothing special yet. He'll need an exciting finish. Whipping his board through a couple of nice backhand snaps there. And went to multiple maneuvers to get the job done. Didn't go looking for that one big individual hit. For me, Sebastian Zets, his wave had more quality in it.
And you can't blame it. The section, the wave that came his way wasn't that great, so he was just trying to stay busy.
7.33 for Sebastian Zets, so he did jump into the lead. And now Italo needs a 5.38. Now Ross and I are really picking apart this ride based on a comparison to Sebastian Zets' 7.33, but you just got to keep in mind that he's not chasing a 7.33, and he needs a 5.38.
Well, again, the real culprit for Seabass is he's counting a 2.87 as his second best score. That's going to be really tough for him because this looks like a 5.5 right here. Again, compared to Seabass's wave, I don't think it's going to be as high, but I like this snap right there, throwing a lot of spray. Actually got a little bit of speed off of it. Just a wipe there, though. Those last two maneuvers, not that great, but again, you can't minus points for it. He was still adding a little bit. Should be close.
It's going to be right on the line. A couple of judges say yes. We've got one judge saying no at this stage. The heat is over, and the score is in 5.67, and that is enough to see the Brazilian into the lead. Sebastian Zets, he'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to better a 2.87 because that's what really cruelled him in the end.